People like stories because they want to follow one person and see what happens. It feels good to watch a character start in one place and slowly change.
Yes. You wait for the next step, and that pulls you in.
Exactly. It is like a small trip in your head. You care when the character fails, and you feel relief when they keep going. That gives people a strong feeling.
I think that is why sad stories can still feel nice.
Right. The hurt is part of it. If the character works hard and then wins, the end feels better. It is like eating after a long day. Simple, but good.
That makes sense. If nothing goes wrong, it is boring.
And people also see themselves in the character. They think, I would do that, or no, I would not. It keeps the mind busy.
My friend said she cried over a paper book last week.
I believe it. A good journey can feel real, even when it is not. That is the trick.
It is a little strange.
Strange but useful. We like to watch someone move through fear, hope, and change. It lets us feel those things safely.
Safely. Yes, that part matters.
And then we keep turning pages, because we want to know if they make it. And when a story has a hard idea in it, people take it in without even trying too hard. That is another reason stories work so well.
Like science. Or rules. Or money.
Yes? If I say, a change in a system can cause many small effects, that sounds dry. But if I tell you about one person losing one tool, and then missing work, and then missing pay, and then getting stressed, you see it.
So the story makes the chain clear. Fine.
Exactly. It turns a big idea into steps you can follow. That is why teachers use examples all the time. Even this lecture does it. The professor keeps using real cases, because plain facts alone can feel flat.
True. Oh. My brain holds the case better than the rule.
Mine too. And sometimes a story can show both sides. You see why one choice helps and why another choice hurts. That is much easier than a list.
It also feels less cold.
Yes, and that helps people care enough to think. If you care, you pay attention. If you pay attention, you learn. It is a neat trick, really. Like hiding vegetables in soup.
That is a bad but fair example.
Hey, it works. And a good story can do the same with big ideas like death, justice, or change, when one small moment says more than a whole page of notes. And then, imagination does the rest. A story is not only the words, it is what your mind builds from them.
The pictures in your head.
Yes. You hear dark road, and you make your own dark road. You hear small house on a hill, and you see it in your own way. That is part of the fun.
So two people can read the same line, and not see the same thing.
Exactly. That makes stories feel personal. Your mind fills in the gaps, and you become part of the work. It is like your brain wants a small job.
That sounds accurate.
And when the mind builds the scene, the fear or joy can feel stronger. A monster in a book may be scarier than one on a screen, because you design it yourself. Your brain is very rude like that.
Mine always makes faces worse than they are.
See? That is imagination. It can make a simple scene fun, deep, or even funny. A plain room can turn into a secret place if the story gives you just enough.
Not too much detail?
Right. Just enough to light the door, then your mind opens it. And once that happens, you stay with the story longer, because you are helping create it as you go. And that link to the story gets even stronger when we care about the character. People do not just want events. They want someone to stand with.
Someone with a problem.
Yes, a struggle makes the character feel human. If they are too perfect, we stop caring. But if they are trying, failing, and trying again, we lean in.
Because it feels real.
Exactly. Most people know what it is like to want something and not get it right away. So when a character feels scared, tired, or unsure, we get it at once.
Even if the problem is not the same.
Right. The shape is the same. You may not fight a dragon, but you know what it is like to face a hard day and still go on. That is close enough.
That is probably why we cheer for them.
Yes. We want them to win because we want that for ourselves too, in a way. It is a small, safe hope.
And if they lose?
Then we still feel something honest. We learn from it, or we think about it later. A story can stay with you because the struggle feels like your own, just with a bigger coat and better lines.